Yo guys, I'm Truzuo Interacting 2. Steam is finally dropping the hammer. This is for game developers and them posting the specs on the Steam page. So no longer will game developers be able to lie to the players on what will run the game properly and what is the recommended specs. The players will be giving feedback to Steam, and Steam will be broadcasting all of the information to other players, knowing what systems and what specs other people are using and what performance they are getting. So let's find out what is going to be happening. And this is by Legendary Drops. Let's check it out.
Steam is about to make a whole lot of people mad, and I'm going to tell you right now, it definitely is not the players.
Yep.
In an effort to make Steam a more transparent ecosystem,
Steam's always taking dubs.
Recommended hardware out of the hands of developers and publishers.
This is so smart. You know how many games have come out, like Assassin's Creed Shadows, where half the game is not even finished, or I don't know how many other games that have come out, and all the performance, like Battlefield 2042, you couldn't even play the beta, let alone the main game when it was released, because the game was just full of bugs. You couldn't even do anything. Half the screen would be white. People would be running around with parachutes, you know, everything. So I'm glad they're finally taking it out of the developers' hands and making it sure so the players can actually show other players what system requirements they have and basically create a foundation for other players to see, you know, should I buy this game and will it run on my system?
And instead, well, they're going to show us exactly what games are actually running on, what performance really looks like for these games based on our experience.
Such a good idea.
No more lying, no more hiding, no more gaslighting. Everyone will be exposed. This is going to be such a massive change. This is going to be such a huge help to players. It is going to instantly impact what games players buy, when players buy these games.
And this will also affect Steam's refunds, because this will make it so people are not going to review bomb games because of the performance. If they know the performance other players are getting, then they know it's their system and they shouldn't buy the game. And so Steam's going to get less refunds, so they're going to make more money. So this is just a W for Steam.
It is going to piss off a lot of these publishers that have been selling us unfinished garbage.
And they're going to have, they can't, when they realize they can't lie to Steam anymore and people will just stop buying their game because the performance is just so shit, then they have to make sure the game's optimized.
Years. So, like most of them. But this entire thing is just another step. It's just another action that Valve has taken to be able to make their platform that much more transparent.
Yeah, best platform by far.
Thinking, what are they up to?
Yeah, they got to be.
Because
I mean, they do have all that stuff coming out with their what is it called, like a Steam machine or something like that, like their own thing. So this has just got to be, and they have this Steam Deck. This is all just a five-head play by them to make sure their platform is ahead of everyone else. I mean, some of these other launchers, bro, that thing is just so garbage. I mean, EA app, that thing's horrendous. That thing it takes forever. For me, it takes forever to load. It doesn't even work half the time. Blizzard, I mean, Blizzard's not bad. Ubisoft, don't even get me started on Ubisoft. Ubisoft is complete garbage. It's probably the best it's been in a while, but it's still freaking miles behind Steam.
Now, and other things that have happened in the background, years of these guys working on their own hardware and their own games and their own platform. Well, I think these guys are building towards something much bigger, something that I do not think a lot of people are ready for.
Let's see it.
Standardized level of quality in the games industry, setting expectations
That's how it should be.
Permanently. No more questions need to be asked. So today, we're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about Steam's latest changes, how they're going to impact the games industry at a rate that, honestly, I don't think we've ever even seen before. How Valve is trying to standardize quality in the games industry.
I mean, quality should be standardized no matter what it is, no matter if it's a game or not. Like, imagine just going to the grocery store and everything's just rotten. Why would you want to buy that? Like, and it's just the clerks at the grocery store saying, "Oh yeah, no, it's fine." It's like, I can clearly see there's mold on your food. Like, so it's like, why are games any different? So I'm glad they're doing this.
All of this has already
happened. Steam is a big platform, and most people that publish games go to Steam, especially for PC. Consoles, I mean, it has to be standardized and optimized, and they're tweaked for the console specifically. But on PC, I mean, if they don't have their own launcher, I mean, yeah, bro, and it's not going to be popular. They're going on Steam.
But before that, a word from today's sponsor, boot.dev, which I've been back on their website recently. And one of the
we respect the boot.dev. Make sure to go check it out. But we're going to skip it just for the sake of time. Boot.dev, everyone. Go check it out. Help support Legendary Drops.
Valve is arguably the most powerful company in PC gaming, hell, in all of gaming. And instead of using that position to be able to push some of the worst
it's
habits
the best for the players. And I don't know why players would not use it. It's the best for them.
They have become more successful than their competition by largely doing the opposite. Steam is a monopoly by choice. Players choose it, developers choose it, not because they're forced to, not because they don't have any other options, but because it is the best platform. It has the biggest audience, the most useful tools, with the kind of conveniences and consumer protections 100%. That we just don't see exist anywhere else. And that's why I think that Steam means a lot more to people than just being the storefront. For a lot of players, it represents one of the last major platforms in gaming that still feels like it's being built by people who still actually love games.
I mean, Xbox is finally turning around. It only took, Phil Spencer stepping down, and then I forget her name off the top of my head, the girl that took over. I mean, they're finally steering Xbox ships around, and that shit's been in the gutter. I mean, I'm an Xbox fan by heart. I have never personally bought a PlayStation. I've played PlayStation at my friends' houses and stuff like that. Never bought it. Always been an Xbox guy. And dude, I have not played an Xbox in so long, or a console in general. I mean, the exclusives I really don't really care about for any platform right now, or haven't played any. But it's like, dude, I don't know how you guys have, Xbox specifically, have not done anything. It's just so garbage. All AI garbage with Copilot and all that shit.
Not just as products or quarterly revenue, but as a hobby that's worth protecting. The games, the people who make them, and the people who play them. And lately, it feels like Valve doesn't just want to be the better example anymore. They want to set a standard. When we look at what Valve has done over the past couple of years, I think that there is a really clear pattern here. They just keep finding places in the industry where they are benefiting from confusion or vagueness or flat out dishonesty.
I mean, the people in the industry don't know what the heck they're doing half the time. And it seems just like just come to our platform. Like, we're not doing that. We don't have, all this garbage, all this fluff. We're just straight to the point.
And then Steam
dude, their refund policy has got to be one of the best, if not the best, for games. Like, you play that shit an hour, refund it. Play it more than an hour, they'll still refund it.
Turning that into a rule. They're
just got to give them a good reason.
Putting in a disclosure, something that is there to protect their customers. Steam seems to always move in a much larger effort to keep Steam healthier, clearer, and a hell of a lot harder to exploit. Steam is basically the one that set the modern standard for refunds in PC gaming at 14.
Like I said, I mean, dude, they are literally, any other company would not be doing this.
Days and 2 hours played.
It's how they keep people on their platform. It's like, why would you go to somewhere else to buy a game when you can? If you don't like a game, just refund it, and they'll give you your full money back.
Guys, how many times this has saved me? Maybe the game just didn't launch. Maybe the recommended specs were a fantasy.
And this is what they're going to be fixing. If the game does not run, they will know before they buy it. So it will make it so the reviews don't get bombed by people that are just like, oh, the game doesn't run, it doesn't open. It's like, well, now I can look at the Steam's recommended specs, and it's by other players, and it's what I have. Okay, it should run. And then I know it's a me issue, not the game issue.
Just runs like shit. Or maybe there was just no demo, so I just tried it and realized, you know what? This just isn't
fair enough.
Refunds are always fast, sometimes immediate.
Dude, they're freaking quick.
Past that 2 hour mark, there's been plenty of times that if you give them a legitimate reason, Steam will just at least hear you out. Compare that to console platforms or any other platform outside of maybe GOG, where refunds rarely even
happen. Dude, oh my god.
And when they do, it feels like you're trying to plead your case to a brick wall. It's not even
Microsoft support. Do not give me any, bro. That shit is god. I even though I keep saying I'm an Xbox fan, dude, trying to do anything on Microsoft and Xbox. Dude, that website is so freaking garbage. I mean, you might as well just throw yourself in the garbage. That's how bad it is. It's so bad. I've been trying to fix my account issues in like email addresses. Shit, I can't even do anything with that. It's just so fucked. I just stopped using it.
And that same mentality shows up all over Steam. Valve bans crypto and NFTs. They require disclosures for generative AI, especially if that content is being generated during live gameplay. And they have an outright ban on in-game advertising, which I'm going to keep it straight. With you guys, that might actually be the only real barrier that's in place to keep publishers from jamming ads directly into
I swear a long time ago, someone, I can't remember who it was, that there should be in-game ads that play after a certain amount of time or a certain amount of matches. I don't know who that was. Someone can probably let me know in the comment section. There was someone, I can't remember what publisher or game developer studio. I swear said they want to have game like ads that come up during a match or something, or play like after a match or a game ends. I'm like, dude, are you out of your mind? That's just like, So stupid.
Games, because like, come on. We know that they want to. I was watching the Diablo 4 campfire chat for their latest expansion, and in the middle of it, Blizzard kept advertising a Diablo 4 themed Jackson guitar, Diablo 4 branded candy, Diablo 4 branded Fanta, and whatever else these guys could fit in. That's outside
like the statue is kind of cool, but like, bro, like, what?
Game. This is the version that these guys can get away with right now. They can't do that on their own platform. Because they most likely cannot magically get away with it on Steam. So, well, they just don't do it because it's just too damn obvious. Steam's rule is keeping these guys in line right now. And in 2024, Valve went after another thing that players have been burned by for years now. Promised content, DLC, expansion, season passes.
Oh my God. If you have tried to buy any DLCs, I forget. There was one game I watched where there was like, I swear, like, 100 DLCs. No, I think it was Destiny. I watched a Destiny video and someone was complaining about the DLCs. You couldn't tell what DLCs were for what expansion, what you needed. Oh my God, bro, that I would be triggered. That looked miserable. I'm glad they did that.
Stuff that publishers absolutely love to sell to us before it actually exists. Well, Steam now requires those developers to describe that content, provide a release window, and stick to it. And if they can't deliver, well, then they have to communicate with Valve or issue refunds. And if they don't, well, then Steam's going to step in and they're going to handle it themselves. This said, a massive precedent. Publishers got way too comfortable taking our money up front, dangling future content in front of players.
Yeah, and what's with all these like early access stuff? Like, how can you not have a completed game? Like, you work on it for so long. Why would it be in early access? Like, I mean, understandably, if you're like an indie dev or someone like a small studio, but some of these people are like massive studios and it's like early development. It's like, I'm not going to pay you $80 and then had your game not be complete,
and then quietly dropping support for that game once it underperformed, or the roadmap just became a little bit.
What was that? The day after, or whatever that survival game came out that was completely screwed up, and then the Steam had to come in and issue refunds even past 24 hours of play or whatever, just because the whole studio like fell out and it was such a big scam.
Inconvenient for everything else.
Such a W though.
Steam basically said, no, if you're going to sell a promise on this platform, that is a promise that has to mean something. That is a promise you have to keep.
How it should be.
But apparently, that's not the only promise that Steam wants publishers to keep.
Ooh.
One of the biggest issues that players face today, if not the biggest issue that we face today, is performance. It doesn't matter what publisher, what game, what price, or what hardware.
Battlefield 6, I have a pretty top-end PC, and I was having issues just getting the game to run smoothly. And I know my computer is good. So I was just watching YouTube videos. Like there was something with CPU cores and you had to like run some script. You had to change a specific setting. I mean, come on. Like we're really having to edit text files to make sure your CPU cores are active. Like, dude.
Where you're using, you're eventually going to be running into this. And at this point, I think players are just kind of trained to expect the lie. A publisher is going to tell us this game is optimized for a 3060 and above, and then we're going to immediately find out that it can barely even hold together on a 4080. This is not just a PC problem. I realize I have some console viewers that are out there. These guys still tell you, oh, this game's going to run at 60, and it definitely doesn't. Performance issues have just become so common across the entire industry that even with high-profile releases, players are just
what is this, Monster Hunter Wilds, or with the newer one?
Before the games even launch. When Starfield launched with massive performance complaints.
Oh my God. I gave that a try. Oh baby. Never touched it again. Refunded that bitch real fast.
Todd Howard told players that they need to upgrade their PC.
I did not hear about that. You need to upgrade your PC. Yeah, let me just spend $3,000 to play your what I forget, $60 game or whatever it was. Like,
Borderlands 4 launched with some of the worst performance issues that we had seen in years. Randy Pitchford told players that they were trying to use hardware that was just too old for the game. He said that PC players must face the reality of
blaming the consumer has got to be the most brain dead thing ever. Like, sure, if it's like a 970, okay, like, but still, like, if you're gonna, you should be optimizing your game so when you add stuff to the game, it doesn't suck or make it worse. You know what I mean? Like, why?
Relationship between their hardware and the software.
I will never understand the developers coming after the consumers or the gamers when they're the ones buying the game. If you make them mad, they're not going to buy the game. I will never understand that. EA has done that a bunch. Like with Battlefield, like I said, don't buy the game then. It's like, okay, well then you're not going to make any money.
Like half these guys didn't build their own machines. And
most people that are PC gamers, like they build their own shit. They know what's going to work. You know what I mean?
Driving a
They're not
monster
stupid.
truck with a leaf blower's motor. Basically, it's not the game, it's us. Something that just completely denies all reality to
Oh
our
my God.
frustration. And as much as we are sick
Dude,
of it, well,
EA games, dude, I don't know how. Dude, 2K games and all that shit. Holy hell.
seems like Valve might be preparing to end that argument
Look at that shit.
entirely. Back on April 4th of 2026, TechSpot reported on a new feature Valve is working on, a feature that could estimate game performance in FPS based on
that'd be
real
so
user
nice.
data. The article read, Valve appears to be preparing a new feature that could make one of PC gaming's biggest uncertainties, performance, more transparent. Newly uncovered code in the Steam client suggests that players may soon see estimated frame rate data for each game derived from real-world gameplay.
You know how, if most people are going to do that because it's going to help other people and their friends. Is like, hey, what do you got? And it's like, yo, this works. Okay, maybe I need to get some more RAM. Perfect. I don't need to worry about the game not being able to run. I know I'll have the right stuff. Boom, there you go. And then they did what was it? They have the background recordings now. You can now record your game in the background or whatever, or like a highlight. You can clip it. Like so much like player friendly stuff instead of like having like Overwolf or whatever you're using to clip it or having OBS open. If you have a good moment, you can have Steam like record your games and shit. It's so nice.
Metrics shared by other users. The feature would represent a significant step towards bridging the gap between official system requirements and actual in-game performance.
So smart.
Even as studios release recommended hardware specs, the experience on
I wonder if they'll remove the recommended specs in this post, whatever the feedback is. I don't know how they're going to collect it. I don't know if they're going to say, hey, when you launch Steam, like, hey, would you want us to collect data that will help other players see in-game performance? Something like that. And then it will display in the section instead of recommended, and then you can toggle it and say, hey, what does the developer say it is? And then I don't know why you would do that. I would just listen to other people because most people are going to be more transparent than the developer.
PC setups often differ sharply from expectations. Now, the timing really matters here because this is coming after Steam has already started to move in this direction. Back in February of 2026, Valve began allowing users to include their hardware specifications in their Steam reviews.
Oh, I noticed that. I'm like, I see a lot of more information in like the reviews now. I did not know about that. So smart. I'm like, I started browsing some games. I'm just like, this is a lot of information. I didn't remember seeing this before. This is another W change.
So this doesn't feel like some random feature that people are stumbling onto. It actually feels like a step forward towards a much larger system where Steam can take hardware and performance data compared across real users and then show players a much more honest picture of how these games actually run. And if that happens, oh boy, well, recommended specs are going to be a hell of a lot less useful for marketing fluff. I'll tell you that right now.
Dude, oh my God, the marketing. Hey guys, our game runs on a 1080 Ti at 300 FPS, and you run the game, crash. It's like, guys, no marketing fluff. It's going to be straight to the facts. It's going to be another thing. Game trailers. Like, why would you be showcasing the performance when you should be showcasing the game? Like, you spent all this time building the game and you're trying to sell people on the performance. Like, that should be like in the like website or official like site page you have on Steam or something, saying, hey, this is optimized perfectly. You know what I mean? Like, or it's like an infographic or something like that.
Who cares what any of these publishers have to say?
And when they do like panels, that this thing runs on my dog's webcam. You see what I mean? Like something like that.
I can go on Steam and I can see exactly how that is running for people with similar hardware to mine. This is such a massive shift. We actually have a platform that's out here collecting user data and using it for something that is actually useful or benefits the customer. Now, mind you, this is all optional. You don't have to opt into any of this if you don't.
Which how it should be. If you don't want it, then you're not required to give it to Steam. Which I wouldn't see why you wouldn't. It's going to help other people.
Want to, but they're not using your information to shove more ads in your face. They're not trying to sell your information to some third-party company so you get an inbox filled with junk mail.
Oh my God!
Scam calls from some guy pretending to be your bank. No, this is them using your data to be able to protect your purchases, hold publishers accountable, and make buying a game feel like a hell of a lot less of a gamble.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy a game, run it, and turn it on, and be like, oh, time to refund it because it doesn't work, or spend 3 hours watching YouTube videos. Hey, tweak this setting, launch it in safe modes, do it in safe boot, turn your PC off while it turns on. It's like, dude, oh my
Honestly,
God.
I'm kind of shocked that nothing like this has ever existed already. I mean, I guess I'm not all that shocked because these guys really do like to scam us. But man, this is just so obviously useful. Instead of getting gaslit by these vague specs and cherry-picked footage that were constantly shown, players can now see at first glance how this game is performing for everybody else. You can see whether or not this game is going to be up to par for the hardware that you have before you even spend the money. And now for developers, I've talked to a few of them. These guys are cheering this on, especially indie developers, because this doesn't just help the customers. It can save these smaller teams a ridiculous amount of money. Not every single studio can afford to have a third-party QA going across a mountain of different hardware configurations. Not every team can fill an office with a bunch of test machines just to get a partial idea of how that game is going to perform. But if Steam can surface real-world performance data from actual players, well, that gives these developers a hell of a lot clearer of a picture too. And for Valve, man, this is just smart. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
they don't publish their return numbers, but I would have to imagine that a massive
the return numbers are going to drop. Especially, dude, you know, I saw another game that people were refunding for performance the other day. It's like they will save money and get people to stay on their platform longer.
Steam refunds likely come from games just not performing the way that players probably expected. That game didn't run right, the specs were misleading, the player then spends an hour trying to fix it, and they finally just refund it. So a tool like this is going to help everyone. Players.
Yeah, you see people leaving in the reviews, guys, the game's good. Make sure if you're having issues, though, here's a link to the YouTube video to fix it.
We're going to be able to make better buying decisions. Developers, because they're going to get performance feedback, and Steam, because they're going to reduce a pretty sizable chunk of their own refund queue by preventing all these bad purchases before they even happen. Man, I really hope that people understand just how massive of a change this is going to be.
Huge.
It is going to be a huge disruption to the games industry. It is going to instantaneously impact the way that these companies approach.
In fact, buyers and consumers, or buyers and consumers. This affect the developers and the players instantaneously. The developers can't lie, and if they do, they're going to get called out immediately for it, and then they're going to lose sales numbers, and then the players are going to know immediately off the jump that their hardware is good or it's not good, and they won't buy the game because they know they can't play it.
When you have something that is...
And it's going to force the developers to optimize their game. I mean, you know how bad COD is optimized? Dude, that shit, the launcher, everything is like overinflated to the max. And the game is like, I'm not going to say simple like to develop, but compared to other things, like it should be a lot smaller.
Is transparent, that is likely going to be just plastered right on the store page. You don't have an option. You have to optimize that game. Otherwise, you're going to launch.
Hopefully they leave it like on the store page. Like it should be like the first thing. It should be like, instead of showing like minimum recommended, it should be showing immediately like, hey, real data on what is like the recommended. And then if you want this much FPS, or you can have like a slider. Hey, I want to make sure this game has a minimum of 300 FPS, and they have like a toggle or something, and they drag it and it says, based on real player feedback, it's if you have a i9 3900K or whatever it is, and a 4080, you're going to be getting over 400 FPS, and you're chilling. That'd be the best thing they can do instead of this. Remove minimum and requirements, maximum requirements, and recommended. Just hey, put real player data in there and just say, hey, what is the target FPS you want? Will you hit it? Boom. Huge W if they do that. Or something similar.
Letter before players even press buy. If I'm Xbox or PlayStation and I was thinking about going exclusive, I'm definitely thinking about doing it now. That's for sure. No more guesswork. You're going to know exactly what you're buying. And
how
also,
it should be.
As a byproduct, we're going to know immediately who the real problem is.
Oh, yeah.
And with the long history that a lot of these companies have of pushing out games well before they were actually finished, it's going to be these publishers.
Yep.
You know, for years now, these guys have been trying to push prices higher and higher.
Oh, my God. There's some other guy the other day, I don't know, was it Bank of America? Was that bank? Was wanting GTA 6 to be $80, like to make sure other publishers can come out and make their game $80. No way in hell would that make GTA. Why would GTA do that? Like, you think Madden, 2K, all those EA games or sports games deserve to be $80? Those games are like pushed out like slop every single year. There's how many people complaining that nothing is improved? You have people like NFL players getting tricked by AI videos on X because they think that the game is going to look like these AI videos, and they realize, oh holy shit, EA is never going to do this because they're just going to print the same game every single year. They're going to update the jerseys of all these players on all these sports games, and they're going to do nothing else. They'll tweak a feature here and there. They'll get new music, and then they'll push it out. No way a game like that should cost $80. So yeah, people are going to know off the jump what they're getting.
Standardize a level of pricing that they want to be able to make, always expecting more from us.
Your game should not cost more than a game that has been, priced accordingly and, is the value what the customer deems it to be worth. Like GTA 6, I mean, dude, they spent $3 billion on dollars and they say it's going to be a giant leap. No way a game like Madden, like I said, should be worth any more than the $60 like it has been. It hasn't changed. It hasn't evolved. You know what I mean?
Without ever wanting any expectations on themselves. And in that time, these guys have never standardized a level of quality. Not a single time.
Oh, yeah.
No more. No. Now, these games have to come out complete or they have to come out truthful, which is going to be. Can't imagine they're like either one.
Yeah.
I can't tell you guys how ecstatic.
Yeah, they're not going to be doing that.
This is one of the greatest changes that I've ever seen.
And it's gonna make, hopefully it makes executives realize we should not push our game out if it is not ready, it's not finished, it's not optimized, because majority of our players play on Steam on PC, especially if it's majority of being be a PC game. Anyways, nowadays, most of the games people play on PC are still a large percentage of people that play on console, but a lot more people are playing on PC because of the performance. And if you're lying about that, people can easily see, because most people play on Steam, that if you're lying, they're not going to play your game. So why would you rush to get your game out if you know people are going to end up not buying it because they can see the performance and they can see the recommended specs and you're just lying about it? So hopefully these executives realize it's not worth the while to, crunch, work overtime to get the game out in a year, like a Call of Duty or a Madden, and then maybe we should take a year to just rework everything and, actually improve upon the game. Hopefully that is, but, we'll see. I mean, EA is another story, Ubisoft's another. So COD,
the games industry in many years, and it's something that nobody can fight. It's just good for the players, it's good for the games, it's good for developers, it's good for the industry, it's healthy overall.
Some developers,
the only people it's not healthy for are the people that are trying to scam people.
Exactly.
That's it. Valve isn't standardizing the games industry by trying to ask these companies and these publishers to be better. No, instead,
they're trying to be telling you truthful.
Excuses impossible to sell. I love it. It's beautiful business. And while I really appreciate what Valve is doing and what they're trying to push towards right now, the real question is, what are they up to?
Yeah.
If there's one thing that I pride myself on, is that I don't take anything.
Yeah, they got to be doing something behind the scenes. They're trying to make their products a set quality and a bar that they know that the players can come to and they can trust. How many times have you seen PlayStation, Xbox, all this controversy of all this shit, and then it's like, and then there's this Steam. We're just living. We're just, hey, players, we have this new update. Hope you enjoy it. And it's something good, something they can actually use. You know what I mean?
Value. So when I see Valve making moves like this, I don't look at it as some random quality of life feature. I look at the pattern around it, because Valve just keeps doing this. They keep finding these places where the industry is benefiting from confusion, vague promises, or flat out excuses.
I mean, Steam will just sit there and then some other company will just screw up and then it'll be like, hey guys, you realize Steam has this and it's been there for like 3 years.
Building systems around those things to protect us and make those excuses a lot harder to sell. It feels like
I'm very interested in this Steam machine and stuff. I wonder how it's going to actually perform compared to consoles.
Is trying to rebuild trust in the games industry, at least on their platform. We almost never see the games industry trying to standardize around anything in a positive direction. Instead, it's always been about pricing or mass producing games, subscription services, always normalizing things against us rather than for us, because, well, they make a hell of a lot more money doing the opposite. And we have definitely never seen these guys try to standardize around a level of quality, well, except for once. We used to have the Nintendo seal of quality. It existed.
Oh, yeah. I remember this.
After the video game crash in 1983. That seal had read, "This seal has your assurance that Nintendo has a value."
I think I have a couple of games that might have that on there. I think. I don't know. Maybe not. I remember seeing that. Yeah. Dude. Nintendo, I mean, don't even get me started on Nintendo. Nintendo, I don't know what they're doing. They got to update their graphics, bro. Like, you got Pokemon games coming out that are like Pokemon, and they got better graphics. I'm not saying you have to change your whole art style, but come on, dude. Like, we have the same looking, we'll say Ash Ketchum for the last, 15 years, and Ashes look the exact same with the 3 polygons he's got going on over there, because their systems are not very, like PC in a way, like that much stronger or whatever. And then they just have the same, like, I know it's like their style, but it's like, come on, man. Like, it's 2026. I feel like you can do a little bit better.
Evaluated and approved the quality of this product. The point was pretty simple. If the game had that seal, it was supposed to function properly on their
devices.
Told customers this game works. But over time, we lost that. It changed. It went from the seal of quality to eventually becoming the official Nintendo seal, because promising quality became a liability.
I don't know why it's on the circle. That kind of looks weird. I don't know. Maybe just me.
Which honestly feels like a pretty good.
Yeah, just look at this, man. Like, they're telling me you can't make this look better. Like,
of where the industry went.
If you guys are interested, there's I don't know how this can relate to that, but I'm just saying, Minecraft Cobblemon, dude, that thing looks crazy. I don't know if you've seen that, but that shit looks insane. Like, they spent like a whole developer team just recreated Pokemon that fits the Minecraft like block scheme, and it looks way better than any of the Pokemon games that came out.
I mean, today,
I was like, I'm going to try that.
Unfinished, unsupported slop is basically normalized at this point. Players don't even expect most of these games to even work. Hell, we celebrate when they actually do. And that's just insane.
True.
There is almost no other industry in the world where this would be treated as normal. Imagine buying a movie and just accepting that it might not play, or a book where halfway through you find out that,
like I said with the grocery store, going in the store and saying, hey, your food has mold on it, and then the the clerk saying, "Oh no, it's fresh." It's like, I can clearly see that there's mold on your food. Like,
the pages are missing.
Yeah,
and
this is unacceptable.
It's just like, don't worry, we'll patch them in later, but still charge you full price. What are we doing here? That would be absurd anywhere else. And at some point, that has to stop. This industry clearly isn't going to do it for itself, because that broken standard that they've been pushing is benefiting them the most.
Yeah, they're making money on it.
They're saving more money, and they're never going to be motivated to do it. But it seems like Valve is stepping in to be the one to change things. Now, I have to give a shout out to Water CS2 for inspiring this theory, a fantastic everything Valve-related content creator.
Let's hear the theory.
He's been talking about how Steam is slowly but surely becoming a more console-like experience, gearing towards the release of the Steam machine.
With all these other exclusives on on Xbox and PlayStation, if they get exclusives, they can just push them to PC. That's just a W for
Making
Steam.
Steam easier to navigate, more all-inclusive, and a little bit more predictable. And I think this guy's right. I think that that's exactly what they're trying to do right now. But I also think that that's only one small piece of what Valve is building towards. Because right now, we're at a time where trust is at an all-time low in the games industry. It's basically on the floor. And I think that Valve is trying to leverage trust as their brand moving forward.
Steam has always been reliable. You can always trust them. They haven't done really anything make you think otherwise.
Steam Machine and the Steam Deck are not just devices. These are hardware pieces in a much larger strategy that Valve is trying to use to create some type of standard around the Steam platform. I think that these guys are trying
that'd be the
to
smartest thing you can do.
The quality of games. And I think that we've already seen the early version of this with the Steam Deck Verified.
I haven't actually had a chance to try the Steam Deck at all. I've seen it, and then I saw that Xbox had something similar, and I never tried that either.
Technically, you can download just about any game on Steam.
Yeah, people have been highly recommending the Steam Deck because it's so good. I'm just like, really? Oh my God. I'll have to get one.
That doesn't necessarily mean that all those games are going to play or even work well. Some games just don't support the controls. Others have text that's too small. Some of them have some weird settings that need to be changed. Some will technically launch but run so poorly that no normal person would ever say that it's playable. So Valve went and they made a simple badge system. They call it the Steam Deck.
This is just smart. Unknown for if it's not tested, I'm assuming. Unsupported. Don't run it on the Steam Deck. Playable, but you probably have to change some stuff on it. And verified, it works as intended.
Deck verification. Verified games means that game works well out of the box. You buy it, install it, and play it. No tinkering, no.
Is that on normal Steam? I don't think I've seen that. I think it must be only on the Steam Deck. Or maybe it's a toggle or a setting.
Getting. Playable games, that's another badge.
I guess it doesn't apply to the Steam library on PC because... Yeah. Okay. I'm stupid.
Effort. Maybe you have to change some settings, or you have to...
that's what they're going to be doing in the future with the recommended specs. They should have it so like a cog or something that indicates that the game is verified on Steam, that it's going to run under certain requirements. That'd be smart. Or you can set your profile or something like that on Steam to say, hey, don't show me games, or show me games that are, meet my system requirements. Like if you have your system requirements published to Steam, it will only show you games that will run on your system. That'd be the smartest thing to do, honestly, right there.
Maybe make your own custom controls, but it's not what they would necessarily consider a stable experience. Unsupported means Valve does not recommend that game, or it just flat out does not work on the device. And then unknown means that it's still in the reviewing process. The important part is Valve is not just letting these developers slap a badge on the game and put it on the store page. No, Valve is reviewing these games themselves. They're giving these developers detailed feedback on what actually needs to be fixed, and then developers can go and resubmit.
I mean, it makes sense.
So again, Valve is now taking something that used to be
this is how it should be with the new changes. I mean, like I said, just like once you, hey, do you want Steam to only show you games that meet your system requirements? And if you want to show other players what your system runnings, you can share it with other players so that they know what they're going to get. And then it creates a whole ecosystem around, hey, I'm going to show you games that meet your system requirements. They're going to run on your system. There are going to be no issues. And if you have issues, it's going to be on you to fix them in terms of, like some like weird setting you might have or whatever. So, I mean, this is just so smart.
To a standard that players can understand instantly, visibly. For customers, this is so incredibly simple. You go to the store page, and right there on the game's cover, there is a badge telling you if that game works on the Steam Deck or not. Something that is just entirely unheard of and under-discussed in the games industry. You do not have to actually dig through any forums. You don't got to search Reddit threads. You don't have to watch videos. You don't have to wonder whether or not you're going to spend money on something that is going to technically launch, but they need like 15 settings changes and a blood sacrifice to be able to work
hour-long YouTube video.
You know what you're getting into before you even hit buy. Now, to the best of my
knowledge, what they could do is have that would be, how people like make settings guides. I wonder if you could like make it so you can have like communities for settings, and people can have like publish like, hey, this is the most optimized competitive game setting, or settings you can have for a game. Like, hey, if you want to play Apex Legends, if you want to be like a pro, and people can post like their most the most competitive settings and say, hey, if you want to tweak this and this is the things you can change for your personal like preference. You know what I mean? That'd be so cool.
That kind of visible platform level compatibility system has never existed anywhere else in the industry. Not with this much reach, and definitely not directly attached to the same place that you're making the purchase. That matters here because, well, that badge is absolutely going to decide whether or not somebody's going to buy a game or skip it. And while most of this right now has just been limited to the Steam Deck, Valve is now building the exact same version of that same idea for the Steam machine. They've already told developers that there is going to be a Steam machine verified.
That makes sense.
If their game is Steam Deck verified, well,
it's going to have more PC-like components compared to a console. And so if it's verified under certain PC specs, then people are going to know. Developers are going to make it so it's optimized on the Steam Deck, which means it's going to be more like optimized for PC stuff.
Going to be pre-approved for the Steam Deck verification because the Steam machine is more powerful hardware.
Yep.
But the implications of that go even further, because if a game is already verified on the Steam machine and my PC is more powerful than the Steam machine, then I can look at that badge and I can have a pretty good idea
if
I'm
actually show
any issues running that game. That gives the Steam machine value beyond the people who even go out and buy one. It now becomes a reference point for everybody else. I think this is where this all comes together, because Valve is already standardizing a base level of quality on their own hardware and on their own platform. There is a badge right there. There is a green check mark telling me if this is going to work depending on what piece of hardware of theirs that I'm using. Go ahead and add in the FPS estimates that are based on real user data, and now suddenly Steam is starting to remove doubt from the customer's mind before anybody ever even makes a purchase. This is great for players, but this is also just utterly brilliant business. As a former salesman myself, I have to respect this, because doubt is one of the biggest things that stops people from buying anything. Qualifying is the first step and the biggest step of the sales cycle. And it is a huge point of friction for a lot of people on PC. Will it run? Will it stutter? Will the recommended hardware settings
have to spend an hour changing settings?
Am I going to spend the first hour of this game fixing the settings instead of actually playing it? Is it going to get worse the more that I play it? Valve is trying to answer those questions before you even ask them. This is going to build trust. It's going to protect customers. It's probably going to sell a hell of a lot more games because people are going to feel safer buying them. And I think that's
going to feel comfortable giving them money
that a lot of these companies probably aren't going to understand. Doing right by the customer.
Yeah, you should always do right.
It's good business. And Valve is now going to force the rest of the industry to do good business just as a byproduct. Developers are going to know exactly what the baseline is. They're going to know that this is Valve's hardware, and this is what these guys are measuring around.
And most of the people that are developers are going to want to put it on the Steam machine. So it's going to make it so they have to optimize the game in some capacity if they want it on there. If not, they're just going to post it on Steam as is and risk not having it, be bought because the fact that people don't trust that the developer actually did it in the best interest of making it optimized, for whatever they want. You know what I mean?
They're going to know that if their game runs poorly on the Steam Deck, on the Steam machine, or on Steam's FPS estimates, well, that information is going to be visible right where customers are making the decision to buy. So even if Valve never forces a single performance target, the pressure is still there. Optimize for the standard, or just let every customer see that you didn't. I tend to be a guy with a hell of a lot of theories, but I never say that I'm 100% confident in them.
Yeah, this is a good theory, though.
This one, I'm 100% confident in. The reason why is because this would be so effective, so unbelievably effective, and it's such a brilliant strategy, especially given today's market conditions within the games industry,
the market is screwed.
Because trust is at an all-time low, so if you're selling trust, you're going to be making a hell of a lot of money. Now, say whatever you will about Steam, these guys very rarely make the wrong decision when it comes to stuff like this.
That is true.
And if this is the direction that they're going in, it's going to flip the games industry on its head instantly. A badge on every single game saying whether or not it actually works on a piece of hardware outside of just a handheld.
A lot of people are going to be mad.
Being on something that is also effectively not only a console, but also a PC.
Ooh, baby.
That's a big change, guys. That's a real big change. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind, to add more confidence to this, ever since they announced the Steam machine, they have always been trying to temper people's expectations. It's never been about this being the most powerful piece of gaming hardware.
Yeah, what would I imagine they would be?
Next gen or breakthrough or anything
like that. They're trying to steal and take over the console market.
Well maintained, and reliable. And now you're going to add
on. It helps people get transitioned into PC gaming.
Top of that you're going to have
access to a Steam platform,
full transparency that tells you whether or not games do or do not work for that piece of hardware. That's a pretty good position to be able to put yourself in. You're creating a lot of market separation from you and the rest of your competition because you say whether or not your games work or not. You have a badge proving it. Nobody else does. You can't find that anywhere else.
That's
how
true.
You drive people to buy something. That's something I can't find anywhere else. I want that thing. Now, the funny thing is, you don't even have to want the Steam machine. You don't even have to like the Steam machine. You would want the Steam machine to be a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Because then it helps you.
Well, just by it existing, it's creating a baseline level of quality for players on PC.
You hope it succeeds.
You can instantly look and go, hey, you know what? This game doesn't work on the Steam machine. It's probably not going to work on my PC.
Yeah.
I'll pass on it. If I'm using a 4080, 4090, or a 50 series card, but it's not working on a Steam machine,
the Steam machine
not be working for me, right? That's how that ends up working.
Can be a little bit worse than
It's such a really interesting development to see. It's not something that I expected. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't even know about the specs and the reviews.
These publishers are going to have a real big problem on their hands.
They're
not going to like this. This is a level of transparency that these guys are not going to be comfortable with because they have been selling broken games for years. They've been profiting off of broken games for years. And these guys cannot afford to not have their games on Steam.
Yeah, that's the majority of the player base on PC is
able to
Steam.
Avoid any of this. And essentially, they're going to have to be completely transparent with
that, or they're going to have to make it so their own launcher is hosting their game, and people don't like that as it is.
The age of quality is on the horizon, my friends.
I hope so.
Great. I'm so excited for this. I can't wait to see this come out.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
Make sure
everyone be sure to do so. Go check them out. Links will be down below.
Think about all of this. Do you guys think that I'm looking in the right direction?
I think you are. I mean, especially with the specs and the reviews. I didn't even know that existed until I saw it the other day when I was looking at a game.
Steam, especially the Steam machine verified, is just going to be brutal for so many of these companies. It's going to be so poetic more than anything else. Anyway, follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter.
Yep, be sure to do that, guys.
Anywhere else I am, I don't know. Follow me on the streets. Don't do that, actually. Anyway, merch down below. Make sure you guys check it out. I'm putting more stuff in there pretty soon. Stay cool. Stay righteous. Stay safe. I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace. Family. I mean, yeah, dude. This is such a W. This is a blatant W. This should be like just a standard. Why would you not tell the customer the right thing and then have them risk refunding your game? That doesn't make any sense. So now everyone's going to have to be transparent. And then once they're transparent, then they're going to realize that this game company or publisher is not going to be trusted in the future. Why am I going to, go out of my way to buy their game knowing that their last game, they lied to me and scammed me and saying that it was going to be, their performance was going to be good, and it was just complete garbage. So Steam is one of the biggest platforms, if not the biggest platform on PC. And a lot of people are realizing that PC gaming is a lot more popular and a lot more, gives you better performance. So why would you not play on PC? And then you could also still play with the controller on PC. And then if there's a Steam machine now, that's all their platform is going to be connected, and it's going to be verified with the Steam machine verification. And then that's going to help all the people that don't have a Steam machine, but just have computers and PCs that they've built and know that are most likely going to be way better than a Steam machine. So everything's just going to be a better overall for everyone. So, I mean, yeah, hopefully this gets implemented, and it looks like it is. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. This looks insane. Another Steam W. I mean, yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.